All right, hey everyone. Hope you had a good Wednesday. I did. New me, who this? I have a model instead of the free one that came with VTube Studio. This is... Hold on. House of Bang. I'm not sure if that's the name he goes by, the proper name. I sent an email to him to find out. But here we go. We are picking up from yesterday's world building on this one shot that I got volunteered for this weekend. So what did we do last time? We established this little fallen kingdom of Old Luthland. Old Luthland being now the arid heartland that's fallen on really hard times, surrounded by the competing factions of the Old Kingdom that are now their own little realms. The Principality of Luthen, which I actually might change to Luthkin, but Luthen is good for now. The Royal Order of the Knights Custodian, the Grand Duchy of Domluth, and the Kingsman Gang. The overall story of this one-shot will be a band of desperate adventurers starting in the town of Hersmark. We'll hear a rumor about treasure in an abandoned coal mine in the Gold Barrens. The Gold Barrens. And that'll be the adventure. It's I'm aiming for like 2 to 3 hours at most, because that's usually how long our sessions with my normal group usually last, before people get tired or have to run to handle kids or whatever. But where was that last time? To do. There's something else I meant to add to my to-do that I forgot last time. Hopefully I remember. And I have a bit on Saturday that I'll be able to do for anything I don't get today. For now, oh, scenes. Oh, it's on there. Okay. Scenes. Let's see. Where's the computer for this? Might as well believe there. Alright. I am hyper today because I was feeling eepy on my way into work, so I stopped by the Sheets for a canned coffee. I did not realize until I was halfway through the can that it was a triple shot monster. I don't know if I'm gonna sleep tonight, because I usually just live off of black tea or Earl Grey. There's way more caffeine than I'm used to. Oh boy. So, I need a coal mine name instead of just the abandoned mine. I need to grab you. I need to move the river out of the way so I can select it. What's a good name for a mine? Let's go with Blue Dog Mines. That's kind of a real life reference. Very doubtful anyone would know that reference. Red Dog is a mine in Alaska somewhere that I've used in one of my other stories quests at some point. That's neither here nor there. Blue Dog Mines. Somewhere in this is a reference to the mines. Mines. Alright, here we go. Let's see. The now abandoned Blue Dog Mines. That's a nice western name. Blue Dog Mine in the Gold Barrens. Okay. So our start is they're going to be at a Hersmark's, a rundown town that only has desperate people during these times of hardship where there's famine, drought, no money, no life. Only the most desperate people willingly live in Old Luthland now. And so the adventure will start with the party at a soup kitchen getting their meager dinner for the day. What they will overhear, maybe I might change it from soothsayer to something else, because it's not really relevant that it's specifically a soothsayer. Either way, there will be a old person rambling about how the mine from the latest occupation was abandoned, and they didn't realize what they had found down there. The Principality of Luthland, though. I kind of want to change that to Luthkin to give, because Luth and Luther is a pretty German word, and Luthkin will give it a English bent, which will make it a little bit more relatable to English ears. Kin added onto words just means it's like something small. That's why you have napkin is like a small nap, meaning a small handkerchief. And that's also why Hank is a diminutive form of John, I think. Is it John? I think it is John because J and H's get mixed up over in European languages. But Hank is like a diminutive version, a nickname of John because it's Hank Ken became Hank. I don't remember how John got to Hank, but either way. Maybe because it's John in German became Han, became Honkin or Hankin, like Tiny Hank or Tiny John. Eventually just became Hank. Yeah, Hank in English. I think that makes sense. I'm talking out my ass on that one, but that could be it. That just makes sense in my mind. I'm rambling hard. I have way too much caffeine today. I did not need a single sip of my tea or the rest of that monster on the drive home. Goddamn. I was just jamming out hard to what's the John Wick music? La Castlevania? Is that the name of it? I just had a playlist of that blasting for the hour and a half commute home. What are we doing here? Yeah, so the old person will ramble on about the mines, the coal mines. There's not gold. There's not coal, but gold. Gold, turquoise, and royal blood. And gold turquoise will be coming up from the sentries that are found in what is discovered, opened up in the beneath the mines. The sentries. I don't know if they'll be like golems or undead or something, but there'll be sentries of some type, and they'll have turquoise armor trimmed in gold. And royal blood being a reference to the old kingdom that the Principality did not realize they had discovered underneath there. It's technically their birthright. So we have our steps of the... Okay, I'm not hiding that. Big new fancy model. So our steps of this module, and this will be run in Pathfinder 2 edition, 2nd edition remaster, but it's going to be heavily modified just to facilitate speed of gameplay, the pace, the tempo, and may or may not have new players. So it's going to be a lot more narrative focused and house rules that are hand-waving most of the crunch in the rule set. But the steps of this module will be starting at Hersmark. There will be the journey between Hersmark and the Blue Dog Mines from there. During that journey, they will have to cross the River Elkin, which is oddly put there, even though it's this blue line. That's the River Elkin dividing the land for a navigation hazard that they have to negotiate. Which one of the players is always really keen for environmental challenges because he's an outdoorsman guy. He likes any chance to show off his knowledge of ropes and making rope bridges, anything like that. So I know he'll like that. How to negotiate the deep ravine of a river. And then once they get into the Gold Barrens, they're going to have to negotiate the terrain. And then once they get to Blue Dog Mines, it's in the Kingsmen gang territory. So that means there's going to be some conflict to get into the mines themselves unless they manage to sneak in. Then they'll enter the dungeon of the module, the Blue Dog Mines, which will be mostly exploration until they reach where the mines dug into and broke into the ruins below. I haven't decided exactly what those ruins will be, but ancient ruins of some kinds from the Fallen Kingdom. There will be sentries there that had killed some mine workers and chased off whoever broke in. So those will be some immediate conflict there. Then there will be a trap of some sort within the dungeon, which I am thinking will be some kind of boulder trap that I am recycling from a previous stream here. And also, after the trap, there'll be a final conflict with more sentries and some kind of boss monster. And then a reward of some kind. So, now that we've recapped what the overall plan here is, I'm gonna sip some water. Alright. So, let's get our steps in. Starting at Hersmark. I need to start filling in scenes before I do anything else. Scenes. Move you up there to be 3? Yeah. We'd have our scenes will be... I have a list on 2, don't I? Yes. Perfect. We have... module introduction will be a scene itself. We have Hersmark Town. We have Hersmark Church. We have Old Luthland, Arid Heartland, and the soup kitchen. We have the, get my capital R there, the River Elkin. We have the Old Barrens. I just love saying that, the way that the Barrens it just rumbles. I love it. Old Barrens. We have Blue Dog Mines. We have Ruins Entry, Ruins Tunnel, Ruins Boss Room, Treasury. Ruins Treasury. Okay. Now I get these to be my headers. How do you get the, because that is just raw, have it for me. Get my heading 1. A heading 1. Heading 1. Heading 1. Heading 1. And heading 1. Okay. Check in. Okay. I blanked out for a moment. Did not remember I tweeted that I was live. I did. Okay, now we have our scenes listing. Not too many. And most of these will be sparser, because this whole one shot will be mostly improv. These are just key points for descriptions to build the scenes as we go along. Module introduction, my Star Wars crawl. I'll come back to that. That'll probably be the last thing I fill in. Hersmark Town is, it is one of the oldest towns of Old Luthland, dying heartland of the Old Kingdom. Hersmark is, what's a good verb for a town becoming a ghost town? I need a thesaurus. Come on, thesaurus. What is a first word? Abandonment. Abandonment. Dereliction, desertion. Jilting doesn't sound right. Renunciation, quit claim. What does quit claim mean? I have never heard of that word before. Meaning. The transfer of a title or deed to another. Huh. Formal renunciation of legal claim against some other person of a right of land. That is a really cool word that I've never heard before, and I want to use it, but it doesn't fit in this. Resignation. I think abandonment is the wrong word to start with. What is a good word for the shitification of a place? Let's start with dying. That's a strong word. Decay. Fading. Moribund. What the hell is a moribund? Moribund. Meaning. Approaching death, about to die. Oh, it's an adjective, not a verb. Moribund customs. A moribund way of life. That is another really cool word that I haven't heard before and I want to use. And it would fit, but it would be distracting because it is so obscure. I know there's no way my group would recognize that word. Declining, too obvious. Disintegrating, too harsh and too literal. Ebbing. Maybe. Passing. Perishing. Withering. Hers mark is withering. On the dead vine. On the dead vine of the River Elkin. Hey, okay. One of the oldest towns of Old Luthland, dying heartland of the Old Kingdom. Hers mark is withering on the dead vine of the River Elkin. Hey, I like that. That has some character there. So that establishes where it exists in the world. What about the Hersmark town itself? It's an old town, so it'll be big. It's sprawling. What is it's the source of time again? Sprawl. Drape, flop, blow, lounge, ramble, recline, ramble. Extend, slump, spread, straddle, stretch, trail, ramble. I know what that means, but I want to double check. Ramble meaning. I swear I know what it means. But I want to see what it literally means. To move about aimlessly. To walk casually or leisurely. Following a regular winding course. Hersmark has become a rambling sprawl of decay, where it's ancient. Oh, what is an old-timey word for neighborhood? Because I was about to say blocks, but that's too modern, I think, for sections of a city. Ancient quarters, maybe. Neighborhood. Area, block, district, parish. Parish is an interesting word. Part, precinct, region, section, suburb. Let's see. Hood. Jungle. County. Parish, does that have too strong of a religious meaning or connotation? administrative part of a diocese, especially of an Anglican or Roman. That could work because they're going to start at the soup kitchen, though. Ancient parishes. What is the plural of parish? Is it just parishes? Parish plural. What do you call the plural of a parish? Come on. Parishes. Okay. Ancient parishes. Cannibalize abandoned orders to maintain the I need a verb. Maintain the, or an adverb. I don't remember which is which. Maintain the something. I need to reread this from the start. Hersmark has become a rambling sprawl of decay, where its ancient parishes cannibalize abandoned quarters to maintain the homes of the ghost town. What's a better way to say that? To maintain the modern, desperate inhabitants. Wide swaths of its... I already used ancient. I'll just use parishes again. Its parishes are now a ghost town. Literally, many believe. Let's read this from the top. Hersmark. Put a comma there. Because it's not Hersmark town, it's Hersmark is a town. One of the oldest towns of Old Luthland, the dying heartland of the Old Kingdom. Hersmark is withering on the dead vine of the River Elkin. Hersmark has become a rambling sprawl of decay, where its ancient parishes cannibalize abandoned quarters to maintain modern, desperate inhabitants. Wide swaths of its parishes are now a ghost town. Literally, many believe. That was my Discord. Sorry about that beep. Okay. I think that's good so far. That is where it is in the world. That is the state of affairs. What else do we need in Hersmark Town? I don't want to do paragraphs of introduction and exposition, because I just want this to be quick and snappy. Snappy! Oh, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? I'm gonna leave that for now. That's a good enough intro for the town itself, and there I can just jump straight to the kitchen. Because now that we've implied with parishes that it's heavily religion focused or associated, building that, the clues to what it is. And now with town described, we can go to the church where it's going to start. So we're starting out wide, we're zooming in. It's a soup kitchen. Famine, drought, and occupation have sapped those trapped within Old Luthland. Of livelihoods, resources is too obvious, of Sustenance. What about succor? What does succor literally mean? Succor meaning assistance in times of distress, one that affords assistance or relief, aid. I could use that somewhere else, but that wouldn't fit here because you wouldn't be sapped of that. Oh, sapped those trapped within old Luthland of. Let's go with sustenance. Everyone from the maimed. What is pauper? I need to double check what that means because I'm not entirely sure. I associate with the word beggar, but I'm not sure if pauper actually means beggar. One who is extremely poor. Everyone from the maimed, the pauper, to the worker, to the lordling, to the landowner, to the landlord. Landlord or lordling? I feel like lordling is more punchier, has more flavor. While as landowner or landlord, it's more literal. It gives you more specifics, but lordling just has more flavor. My concern is that it may not make sense for there to be lordlings here. That implies there is law and order that the lordlings have constructed around themselves. I'll leave it in because I like the way it sounds. Oh, everyone from the maimed, the pauper, to the worker, to the lordling. Do I need a from there for the pauper? From the maimed, from the pauper. Yeah, that way it's like poetry, so it rhymes. We're doing some pottery here. Everyone from the maimed, from the pauper, to the worker, to the lordling. Everyone comes to their parish soup for dinner now. There is no... Classism is too modern of a phrase to drop here. There is no classism, but what is a thesaurus time? You get a lot of mileage out of it tonight. Thesaurus, wrong one. Classless? I'm on dictionary, I want thesaurus. Come on. Let's see here. Class. Can't search classless, but I can search class. So synonyms for classless would be checklists. Oh, these are classes. Classes in fashion. That's not what I want. There is no division between classes. Division of classes. Everyone is hungry. Everyone is desperate. The soup is... The soup thins by the day. Let's read that out. Famine, drought, and occupation have sapped those trapped within Odaloothland of sustenance. Everyone, from the maimed, from the pauper, to the worker, to the lordling, everyone comes to the parish soup kitchen for dinner now. There is no division of classes. Now is redundant. Do I want to drop here to add immediacy of what we're talking about? Yeah, I'm going to drop it here just to start dropping implications that this is where we are. There is no division of classes here. Everyone is hungry. Everyone is desperate. The soup thins by the day. I just love talking like that. Letting those rumbles just drag out. Okay, what do we got here? That's the church. I don't know if I need to even really get into specifics of like what the places look like. If I think I can just drop it like that and just let their imaginations do the legwork on that. Because I feel like this is so much flavor and character in the areas now. Put a line break there. Easier for me to read. These are two really snappy intros for the town and the church, and I like it. And I need to add some arid flavor to the town description that'll feed the rest of it. So where can I say that something is dusty? On the dead vine. Dying. Arid. Drop an arid there. Where else can I put dusty? I want dusty. Brawl of dust. In decay. Sand, dust, and decay. Just to emphasize it. Because dust could just be implying old. But I want sand, dust, and decay. Okay. I think that's better. That'll fuel the imagination on what they are surrounded by in this town. Now, for Ode to Luthland as they leave the town, the arid heartland. Arid heartland of the old kingdom. Barrens? Oh, I need a verb. The arid heartland of the old kingdom, something, period. Source. I don't usually use the thesaurus this often. I'm just so scatterbrained I have to use it now. Burns. No, I did not mean buns. I mean burns. Burn. Blaze, char, heat, ignite, incinerate, light, melt, scorch, smolder, smolder. Too fiery. Bake. Broil. Broil. Bald. Parch. Parch is a verb. Oh yeah, it is a verb. I don't know if that would fit though. I'm liking what was it? Smolder? Broil. That's what I want. That's what I thought it sounded. Arid heartland of the old kingdom broils. Under the sun. I'm gonna be a little lazy on this. The Great Drought. It'll work. It doesn't need a big fancy name. You don't need to get too fantastical with it. Just the Great Drought. Going on a decade or a generation. There's a bit of a difference there. I'm gonna say a decade because if it's a generation, that means that there's no reason for the player characters to have known a better time. So a decade, not a generation. Going on a decade. Abandoned farms and communities. Previously habited for generation. Hundreds of generations. Now dot the plains and hills. Trees have withered. Oh. Crops failed first. Then the forests. The forests withered. Then the game migrated. Now the rivers are drying out. I need a line break. Okay. The arid heartland of the old kingdom broils under the sun. The great drought has lasted for going on a decade. Abandoned farms and communities, previously inhabited for hundreds of generations, now dot the plains and hills like tombstones. Of a spanning. Is this too wordy? I need to read it out. Abandoned farms and communities, previously inhabited for hundreds of generations, now dot the plains and hills like tombstones of a realm spanning graveyard. Of a realm spanning graveyard. I don't know if realm spanning. I need to read it again. Previously inhabited for hundreds of generations, now dot the plains and hills like tombstones of a realm spanning graveyard. A graveyard. I don't think I need that. That's too wordy. I think just like tombstones is enough. And the rest of it is implied in their imagination. I don't need to go all the way without metaphor. Do I need anything else in the Old Luthland? I think that's enough for now. Because again, these are just prompts for getting the players going and letting their imaginations do the work for me, where I scramble to get everything ready last second on the spot, as GMs do. They don't want you to know this, but it's true. Oh boy. Ooh. Okay. The River Oaken, which has been hinted at, is drying out. It's not dead. Wait, is it dead? Did I say it's dead? The dead vine of the River Oaken. Do I want to change that to dying? Oh boy. Oh, okay, I got it. How do I want to word this? I know exactly how it works, but how do I want to say it? Running from. It was the breadth of the old kingdom. Now a trench from. What's a good color for mountains? From. Let's go with purple. That's a classic American reference. Purple mountains to gray sea. Or however, is it winter melt or spring melt? I need to look that up. Mountain spring melt. Yes, it is called spring melt. However, the spring melt breathes fleeting gas of life into the veins of old Luthland. Does not last long. That's it. As the rushing waters dry out come summer. But what? I need to read it, see where I'm at. River Elkin. It spanned the breadth of the old kingdom, but it's now a trench from purple mountains to gray sea. However, the spring melt breathes. Neither. Breathes fleeting gasps of life into the veins of old Luthland. It does not last long as the rushing waters dry out come summer. Excuse me. Dry out come summer, but first, the spring waters used to give folk hope. Now it brings memories of what was. Let's try that out. It does not last long, however, as the rushing waters dry out come summer. The spring melt. Spring melt used to give folk hope for the coming year. Now it brings memories of what was. Semicolon. I had another Discord beep. I'm sorry about that. That might have been a while ago now. I forgot to mute that server. Okay, what do we got? Okay, that's the River Elkin. I don't think I need more than that because I say it's a trench, so with rushing water. So I think that's enough to convey the hazard they have to cross. The width. I need the width. How do I want to describe the decaying infrastructure of bridges? Oh. The Grand Elkin. Was difficult to span when water lapped its shores. Now the exposed stone and wood of ancient, I want to say infrastructure, but that's too modern again. Architecture. Is crumbling. The Grand Elkin was difficult to span when waters lapped its shores. Now, the exposed stone of wood and ancient architecture. Stone and wood of ancient architecture is crumbling. Okay. Now for the gold barrens. These will be hills. What type of hills? The northern hills of Old Luthland are infamous for wasting the years of many a prospector, surveyor. I need a reference to someone besides a principality. The Arcanus from the Real Academy in the Grand Duchy of Don Luth know that gold lies in the hills, but only coal has ever been dug up. This has not stopped occupations from starting new mining ventures in their attempts to extract value from the tract. Last scraps of value from their dying land. Let's try that out. The Gold Barrens. The northern hills of Old Luthland are infamous for wasting the years of many a surveyor. arcanist from the Royal Academy in the Grand Duchy of Donluth. That needs a capitalization. The Grand Duchy of Donluth. Know that gold lies in the hills, but only coal has ever been dug up. This has not stopped occupations from starting new mining ventures in their attempts to extract the last scraps of value from their dying heartland. Dying heartland. Okay. Share through history and claim. And royal claim. History and royal blood. This has not stopped occupations from starting new mining ventures in their attempts to extract the last scraps of value from the dying heartland they share through history and royal blood. Deserted mines and transient and what's a copse tree? How's that spelled? I think it's C-O-P-S-E. Copse. A thicket of small trees. What is is it copses? Is copses the plural? Deserted mines and copses of abandoned shacks. Line the hill on the gold barrens. Yeah, line. What little failed adventures leave behind are scavenged by the King's Men Gang Reavers. Is it E-I or I-E for Reavers? The classic Scottish version of the word. Border Reavers are E-I. I never remember that. Despite using it all the time because it's such a neat historical word. That's what Reaver, R-E-A-V-E-R, comes from. The Scottish Border Reavers. The Lowlanders. Deserted mines and copses of abandoned shacks line the gold barrens. What little the failed adventures leave behind are always scavenged in short order by the Kingsmen Gang Reavers. Blue Dog Mines. Hell. We're running out of time. It's already 2:25. I'm gonna have to do some extra work on this Friday night, I guess, in addition to Saturday. But honestly, I think I just have to focus on the character sheets to pre-make some stuff and the enemies. And everything else I can just improvise last second. And I think define some mechanics for the trap for myself. But I think this has been honestly the lion's share of the work. just setting the scene, getting them accustomed to the setting. But that's going to be it for tonight. Tomorrow is Helldiver's Quest drop 5. I think it's drop 5. It's something. Tomorrow is the update for Helldiver's Quest. I will see you all at 1:30 in the morning. In the morning. It is technically in the morning, but it's 1:30 tomorrow night. Thursday night. If you like this, if you enjoyed this world building, go ahead and like and subscribe. Let me know if you have any good ideas that this inspired you with. This kind of medieval Wild West. It's not American Wild West, it's medieval Wild West of a failed kingdom that's now even more failed and shitified. But take care, everyone. See you all tomorrow. Have a great Thursday. See ya. Oh, and again, this new model is by... I have to look at his name again. Where is it? Tao Sebang is what he listed as wanting its credit for, but I suspect that's an outdated reference. So check the description if you're curious on who did the artwork in the coming days, because I'll update it with whatever he wants, because I do want to credit him properly. But that's just what he had on the description.